Life is full of struggle. But that's not the problem. The real tragedy, staying there. Struggle is inevitable, but staying weak is optional. Strength isn't something you're given. It's something you build, brick by brick, day by day, decision by decision. You see, most people wait for life to get easier. They hope the storm will pass. They pray for less weight on their shoulders. But here's the truth. It's not the load that breaks you. It's how you carry it. And the best way to carry more, become stronger. In this video, we're going to flip the script on adversity. We'll talk about how to turn your hardest days into your greatest fuel. You'll learn how to stop asking why me and start saying watch me. This is about more than motivation. This is about transformation. Not overnight, but over time. Not by chance, but by choice. So if you've been knocked down, worn out, or overlooked, good. Because that means you've got something to rise from. And every rise starts with a reason. Let's walk through the fire and come out forged. This is from struggles to strength. Let's begin. Struggle is the price of growth. Let me tell you something I learned early in life. Nothing of real value comes without a price. And when it comes to growth, the price is struggle. Now I know that word doesn't sound very appealing. Struggle. It's not glamorous. It doesn't trend on social media. And nobody lines up to volunteer for it. But here's the truth. Plain and simple. Every ounce of progress is paid for in discomfort. That's the law of the universe. You can't grow muscles without resistance. You can't sharpen a blade without friction. And you can't build a stronger you without challenge. Struggle is nature's way of seeing if you're serious. You say you want success, struggle will ask, how bad do you want it? You say you want confidence, struggle will say, then first walk through fear. You say you want strength, struggle will whisper, then let's see how you handle pressure. You see, everybody wants the reward, but few are willing to pay the fee. Because the fee doesn't come in dollars. It comes in discipline. It comes in setbacks, in sweat, in early mornings and late nights. It comes in the form of sacrifice. But here's the good news. Struggle isn't a punishment. It's preparation. That difficult season you're going through, it's not the end of your story. It's the foundation. The storm you're facing isn't here to destroy you. It's here to develop something inside you that comfort never could. Remember this, comfort may protect you, but it will never perfect you. Growth is uncomfortable because you're stretching. You're being pulled beyond what's familiar. And yes, it's hard, but that's the point. If it were easy, everyone would do it. If it didn't cost something, it wouldn't be worth anything. And if it didn't challenge you, it would never change you. So the next time you find yourself struggling, stop and ask, what is this moment trying to teach me? What muscle am I building? What weakness am I confronting? What strength am I earning? Not just hoping for. You've got to look at struggle as the tuition fee for transformation. Don't resent it. Don't avoid it. Don't pray it away too soon. Because the version of you on the other side of struggle is wiser, stronger, sharper, more resilient. That version is worth the cost. Growth never comes by wishing. It comes by working through the struggle. You don't have to enjoy the struggle, but you must respect it. Because the struggle is what makes the story worth telling. Change begins when excuses end. Let me tell you something that might sting a little. Excuses are the enemy of change. Not lack of time. Not lack of money. Not your boss, your spouse, or your background. It's excuses. And as long as you keep making them, you'll stay exactly where you are. You see, excuses are like exit signs on the highway of life. Every time you use one, you pull off the road that leads to your potential. Now don't get me wrong, everyone has a reason. You can always find one. But the problem is, while you're finding reasons, someone else is finding results. I'm too tired. I wasn't raised that way. It's just not the right time. Listen, if you're waiting for the perfect time to change your life, you'll be waiting forever. There is no perfect time. There's only now, and what you choose to do with it. The day your life really begins is the day you stop lying to yourself about why it hasn't. Now you might say, but Jim, you don't know what I've been through. You're right. I don't, but I do know this. Whatever happened, happened. The question is, what will you do next? Excuses feel good in the moment. They give you a little relief, but they steal your future. They rob you of responsibility, and with it, your power. When you hand over responsibility, you hand over control. And when you give up control, you give up the ability to change. That's why real change always starts with one decision. The decision to take full responsibility. No more blaming. No more stories. No more maybe later. You've got to say, I'm done with excuses. I'm ready for results. Now that doesn't mean it'll be easy, but it does mean it'll be possible. And let me tell you, possible is powerful. Because once you believe it's possible, you'll find a way, you'll find the time, you'll learn the skills, you'll make the calls, you'll take the steps. Because now you've left the land of if and entered the world of when. Change doesn't begin when the world changes. It begins when you change. And that starts the moment you drop the excuses. So let me ask you something. What story have you been telling yourself that's keeping you small? What excuse has been stealing your energy, your time, your future? Identify it, write it down, burn it if you have to, and replace it with something better. Action, responsibility, discipline, belief. Because the moment you stop making excuses is the same moment you start making progress. Clarity comes from chaos. You know, most people think that clarity shows up when life is calm, when the dust settles, when everything is neat, tidy, and organized. But that's not how life works. Is it? No, sir. Clarity doesn't show up in comfort. Clarity shows up in chaos. It's the struggle that sharpens your vision. It's the mess that reveals what truly matters. Think about it. It's when things fall apart that you start to see what's been holding you back. It's in the confusion that your values rise to the surface. And it's in the storm, not the sunshine, where your purpose starts to form. Chaos clears out the noise, so you can finally hear your own voice. Now chaos doesn't feel good. It rattles you. It breaks your routine. It interrupts your plans. But that's exactly why it's useful. Because it forces you to ask the big questions. What's worth keeping? What's time to let go of? What's real? And what's just distraction? I'll tell you something important. Discomfort is a great teacher. When life gets chaotic, don't just look for a way out. Look for the lesson. What is this moment trying to tell you? What's being revealed, not just removed? Because here's the truth. Chaos is the beginning of clarity. If you don't panic, and if you pay attention, don't waste your energy trying to control everything. You can't calm the storm, but you can calm yourself. And when you calm yourself, you can see more clearly. You can begin to make better decisions. You can cut through the confusion. You can identify your next step. Even if you can't see the whole path, don't curse the chaos. Thank it, because it's the moment you stop drifting and start deciding. Clarity is not the absence of problems. It's the presence of focus, and focus is a byproduct of pressure. Pressure reveals what's essential. Pressure eliminates the unnecessary. Pressure reminds you that life is short, and you don't have time to waste on things that don't matter. So if you're in a season of chaos, if things feel upside down, if you don't know which way is forward, good, because something's being born inside of you. And on the other side of this chaos is clarity, conviction, and courage. But you have to stay with it. Don't run. Don't shut down. Don't numb it away. Sit with it. Learn from it. Let it shape you. Because when the dust finally settles, you won't just see things more clearly. You'll see yourself more clearly. Discipline builds inner fortitude. Let's talk about discipline. You know, when people hear that word, they often think of punishment, restriction, something unpleasant, something rigid. But let me tell you the truth. Discipline is not a punishment. It's a passport. It's the key to freedom, the price of mastery, and the foundation of fortitude. Fortitude, that quiet, inner strength that helps you keep going when others quit. Now here's what most folks miss. You don't build discipline when things are going well. You build discipline in the tension. When you don't feel like showing up, when your emotions say no, but your purpose says go. That's the moment where discipline is born. Anyone can be consistent when it's easy, but discipline shows up when comfort steps out. See, motivation is fleeting. It's emotional. It's seasonal. But discipline is dependable because it doesn't care how you feel. It just asks, what needs to be done? Let me give you something practical. Discipline is doing the thing you said you would do, long after the mood you set it in has left. Winners don't wait for inspiration. They build systems. They set standards. They honor their word, especially when no one's watching, because they understand something most people don't. Discipline doesn't restrict your life. It refines it. Discipline eliminates the distractions. It silences the noise. It teaches your body and your mind who's in charge. Now you might be thinking, but Jim, what if I fail? And I'll tell you, you will. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's not about never falling. It's about getting back up faster. Every disciplined action is a vote for the person you're becoming. You want confidence? Build discipline. You want peace? Build discipline. You want freedom, strength, results? It all starts with this one word: Discipline is the difference between intention and implementation. Lots of people mean well, but meaning well doesn't change your life. Doing well does. So how do you build discipline? Start small. Keep your word to yourself, even in the little things. Wake up when you said you would. Finish what you started. Push one rep past your comfort zone. Turn off the distraction. Say no when it matters. Because here's what happens. When you win those small battles, you build self-respect. And when you respect yourself, you don't settle. You don't drift. You rise. Discipline builds trust in yourself. And when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. You won't need others to push you. You'll push yourself. Because now there's a fire burning inside. And discipline is the fuel that keeps it alive. Reframe the struggle. Make it serve you. Let me tell you something I've learned about life. It's not just what happens to you. It's how you see it. It's how you frame it. Because the meaning you attach to your struggle will either crush you or carry you. You can let the struggle break you, or you can let it build you. See, struggle isn't always the enemy. Sometimes it's the training partner. It's not trying to defeat you. It's trying to develop you. But here's the challenge. Most people misinterpret pain. They take the hard moments and label them as unfair, as failure, as proof that they don't have what it takes. But the ones who grow, the ones who rise, they don't see struggle as the end. They see it as the education. Struggle can be your excuse or your edge. It all depends on how you choose to see it. Now, how do you reframe struggle? How do you make it serve you instead of stopping you? Start by asking better questions. Not why is this happening to me, but what is this trying to teach me? Not how do I get out of this, but how do I grow through this? Because listen, every struggle carries a lesson, a hidden strength, a deeper truth about who you are and what you're capable of. But you've got to look for it. You've got to lean into the pain, not away from it. Life will challenge you, no doubt about it, but it's also trying to shape you, to stretch you, to prepare you for the very things you've been asking for. Want to be stronger? Struggle will show you how. Want more wisdom? Struggle will teach you fast. Want depth, resilience, character? Then let the hard moments do their work. Let me tell you something personal. Some of the best lessons I've ever learned came wrapped in struggle. Not in success, not in applause, but in the quiet, lonely moments where I had to choose. Do I retreat or do I rise? And every time I chose to reframe it, to ask, what is this here for? That pain became power. That setback became strategy. That wound became wisdom. You've got to understand what you've been through doesn't disqualify you. It prepares you, if you let it. So stop wishing the struggle away. Start using it. Milk it for every bit of growth it's offering. Don't waste the pain. Reframe the pain. Because in the right frame, struggle becomes strength. Delay becomes development. And what once felt like failure becomes fuel. Speak strength, even in weak moments. Let me ask you something. What do you say to yourself when you're tired, frustrated, or afraid? Because those words matter. They matter more than you think. You see, the voice you listen to the most is your own. And if that voice is full of weakness, fear, and doubt, guess what you'll live out? Weakness, fear, and doubt. But here's the good news. You can train your voice. You can teach it to speak strength, especially in weak moments. Now, I'm not talking about pretending things are fine. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about choosing words that build you, not break you. Because let me tell you something true. Your words shape your reality. They shape your mindset. They shape your decisions. And over time, they shape your destiny. If you want to change your life, start by changing your language. Don't say, I can't do this. Say, this is hard, but I'll figure it out. Don't say, I'm a failure. Say, I failed, but that's not who I am. Don't say, I'm not good enough. Say, I'm growing stronger every day. Because when the pressure hits, when the storm rolls in, you don't need self-pity. You need self-leadership. And self-leadership begins with your words. You've got to talk to yourself better than the world talks to you. Because if you don't, the world will do the talking. And most of it will be noise. Here's what I recommend. Make it a habit to speak strength. Even when you feel weak. Especially when you feel weak. Because that's when your mind is most vulnerable. When things are going well, confidence is easy. But in the tough moments, that's when your words matter the most. Words are like seeds, plant strength, and you'll harvest resilience. Now, this doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you speak to it with intention. You don't say, this is impossible. You say, this will grow me. You don't say, I'll never get through this. You say, this will not defeat me. Speak like someone who refuses to give up. Speak like someone who knows their story isn't over. Speak like someone who's been knocked down, but still believes in the comeback, because the way you talk in the dark determines how long it takes to find the light. And here's the truth. You can't always control your circumstances, but you can always control your commentary. Weak words lead to weak decisions. Strong words lead to strong action. So next time you feel tired, speak strength. Next time you feel fear, speak courage. Next time you feel lost, speak direction. Because the voice inside you, that's the one you're going to follow. Make sure it's pointing you forward. Seek mentorship, not sympathy. Let me say something that might hit a little hard, but it's the truth. Most people don't need more sympathy. They need more strategy. They don't need someone to pat them on the back. They need someone to point them in the right direction. You see, sympathy may comfort you, but mentorship changes you. Now, there's nothing wrong with people caring. We all need encouragement from time to time. But if all you seek is someone to feel sorry for you, you'll stay stuck. You'll stay small. You'll stay right where you are, nursing the wound instead of healing it. Because sympathy says, poor you. Mentorship says you can do better, and here's how. One soothes your pain. The other sharpens your potential. Now, the world is full of people who will tell you what you want to hear. But let me tell you something. What you want to hear is rarely what you need to hear. A mentor will tell you the truth. A mentor will challenge you. A mentor won't lower the bar to make you comfortable. They'll raise it to pull you forward. That's why mentorship is so rare and so valuable. Mentorship doesn't rescue you. It requires you to rise. But here's the key. You've got to be willing to listen, to learn, to be uncomfortable. Because mentors don't coddle. They correct. They guide. They push you beyond your excuses and into your excellence. So ask yourself, who are you listening to? Are you surrounded by people who pity your struggle, or people who call out your strength? You've got to be careful, because the people who mean well might also be the ones keeping you average. You don't rise by surrounding yourself with comfort. You rise by surrounding yourself with clarity. Seek out mentors. People who've walked the road you want to walk. People with results. People with standards. People who will speak truth, even when it stings. And when you find them, don't just admire them. Absorb them. Ask questions. Study their habits. Listen to their failures and their philosophies. Because mentorship doesn't just shorten the distance. It multiplies your momentum. Let me be clear. Sympathy has its place, but if you want to change your life, don't settle for a shoulder to cry on. Look for a mind that can challenge yours. Turn struggles into strategic lessons. Here's a truth I want you to remember. Struggles don't mean you've failed. They mean you're being educated. The question is, are you paying attention? Every struggle you face carries a message. Every setback contains a strategy, if you're willing to extract it. Now, most people go through hard times and walk away with nothing. They waste the pain. They suffer, but they don't learn. But the ones who rise, the ones who build real wisdom, real strength, real results, they turn every struggle into a strategic lesson. Let me ask you, what's been your greatest teacher? A book? A seminar? A podcast? No, I bet it was a mistake. A failure. A heartbreak. A financial crisis. A betrayal. Something you didn't see coming and thought you wouldn't survive. Pain forces you to pay attention. And when you pay attention, you learn lessons no classroom can teach. But listen, struggle by itself doesn't make you wiser. Reflection does. You've got to stop and ask the right questions. What did I miss? Where did I go wrong? What will I never do again? What will I always remember moving forward? Because the most expensive struggles in life are the ones you don't learn from. Don't just feel the pain. Study it. Dissect it. Take notes. Turn the pain into principles. A lesson learned becomes a mistake redeemed. That failed relationship? What did it teach you about communication, about boundaries, about self-respect? That lost opportunity? What did it show you about preparation, timing, humility? That moment you hit rock bottom? What did it teach you about who your real friends are and who you really are? These lessons, they're worth gold. And when you apply them, you stop repeating cycles. You stop circling the same mountain. You start moving forward with wisdom instead of just willpower. Here's the mindset. Don't just get through it. Get something from it. Make your pain count. Turn your regrets into rules for how you live now. Build your personal playbook, not based on theory, but on experience. Because here's the deal. If life is going to hit you hard, you might as well walk away smarter. The struggle already cost you something. Don't let it cost you everything by leaving empty-handed. Build strength that serves others. Let me share something with you that will elevate your thinking. The strength you build is not just for you, it's for the people who need you strong. Now that might sound simple, but it's powerful. Because when you realize that your growth, your discipline, your resilience has a purpose beyond you, your motivation multiplies. You don't just get strong to succeed, you get strong to serve. See, the world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs more stable people, anchored people, people who've been through something, learned something, and are willing to give something back. That's real leadership. That's real contribution. That's a life that matters. Strength is not a trophy to admire. It's a tool to be used for something greater than comfort or ego. Think about this. When you overcame that challenge, when you survived that setback, when you grew stronger through that pain, that experience gave you more than just wisdom. It gave you a responsibility. Because now you carry something others don't. A story, a strategy, a voice of clarity in someone else's chaos. And you don't have to be perfect to help. You just have to be present. You just have to show up strong, so others can lean on you while they're learning to stand on their own. That's the kind of strength that matters. The kind that serves, the kind that heals, the kind that outlives you. Let me challenge you. When you grow, don't close the door behind you. Leave it open. Reach back. Mentor someone. Encourage someone. Use your strength to lift, not just to win. Because that's where meaning is born. Not in what you achieve for yourself, but in what you give to others. The strongest people I know, they don't just stand tall, they help others rise. That's legacy. That's leadership. That's the kind of life that can't be measured in numbers, only in impact. So if you've been wondering, what's all this growth for? It's for the people watching you. It's for the people who will never meet you, but will be changed because you didn't quit. It's for the future you'll never fully see, but will help shape because you decided to be strong when it mattered. Don't just get stronger. Get stronger on purpose. Strength is a lifestyle, not a phase. Let me make something clear. Strength isn't something you do once in a while. It's not a 30-day challenge. It's not a temporary push. It's a lifestyle. You don't build real strength by dipping your toe in the water. You build it by diving in and staying in. Day after day, decision after decision. Strength is not a phase you go through. It's a foundation you stand on. Now here's the trap most people fall into. They treat strength like a sprint. They show up with intensity, but not consistency. They push hard for a week, a month, maybe a season, but then they slide back into comfort, excuses, distraction. And that's why they stay stuck. Because true transformation doesn't happen during your best days. It happens during your ordinary days. The real winners in life. They don't just show up strong sometimes. They live strong all the time. They've made it part of who they are. It's not something they do. It's something they've become. Strength is a mindset. It's a set of standards. It's a way of showing up, even when no one's watching. So how do you make strength a lifestyle? You build habits, not hype. You create systems that support who you want to be. You stop negotiating with your excuses. You stop relying on motivation and start relying on structure. And most of all, you decide once and for all that average is no longer an option. That doesn't mean you never rest. It doesn't mean you never stumble. It just means you don't stay there. Because people who live strong, they don't live by moods. They live by mission. And let me tell you something beautiful. The longer you live with strength as your standard, the easier it becomes to make the right choices. The easier it becomes to say no to nonsense. The easier it becomes to inspire others without even trying. Because strength doesn't just change your actions, it changes your identity. It becomes normal to be disciplined. It becomes natural to rise early, to think clearly, to speak with purpose, to walk with integrity, and over time it becomes strange to live any other way. That's when you know you've made the shift. So don't aim for bursts of power. Aim for sustainable strength. Don't live in seasons of discipline. Live with it every day, because this world doesn't need more strong moments. It needs more strong people. Let struggle shape you, but never define you. As we come to the end of this journey, I want to leave you with a message that's simple, but life-changing. Let the struggle shape you, but never let it define you. Life will test you. Life will bend you. Life might even break you for a moment. But hear me on this. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become because of it. Too many people wear their past like a name tag. I'm a failure. I'm broken. I'm not good enough. But let me tell you, that's not who you are. That's just what you went through. The struggle is not your identity. It's your training ground. It's the gym where strength is built. It's the classroom where wisdom is taught. It's the fire where character is forged. So don't resent your hard seasons. Don't bury them. Don't pretend they didn't happen. Use them. Honor them. Let them build something inside you that ease and comfort never could. And once you've been through it, don't forget the lessons. Carry them with you like tools, not chains. Let them remind you of how far you've come. Let them remind you that pain can have purpose, if you give it one. Don't waste your suffering. Turn it into service. Turn it into strategy. Turn it into strength. Because the greatest people I've ever met weren't the ones who had it easy. They were the ones who decided that life would not leave them bitter, but better. You've got that choice, right here, right now. So write this on your heart. Struggle may be part of my story, but strength will be the legacy I leave behind. Let struggle shape you, but never let it define you. You are more than what tried to break you. You are what refused to stay broken.